What's up? Collin Hernandez here with Laptop Entrepreneurs, where I talk all about what I care about, how I'd like to make an impact, and how you can use these same principles in your own life. Boom. That's all. Laptop Entrepreneurs. Yeah. So, hey, if you watched the first, listen, watch, whatever. If you did either one in the first two episodes, I really appreciate you being here on episode 3. As you can see, this is going to be a learning curve. It's going to be something different where I'm going to have to practice and eventually get to the point where I don't say or where I don't get off track. But that's just my style. I'm just going to be honest there. It's my style. So today we're talking all about the egg and the potato. So before we even talk about this analogy, I like to give my own personal preferences between the two. Still sipping coffee. So my preference here is I'm not really a big fan of either. And I know that's crazy. I eat eggs because I know I have to because, they're good in protein and stuff like that. And I go more on the egg white side instead of sometimes I'll do a hard boiled egg, but it really depends. But potatoes, sometimes I like potatoes. I do like French fries because they're fried. But I'll have a baked potato every once in a while. But overall, I'm more like, I don't really need either or, but it's something that I know it's available. It's produced heavily and stuff like that. So I do eat them, but that's not really why we're here today. So why don't we get back on track? So the analogy goes like this, and I actually was listening to a podcast, and this Katie Bellotti, that's her name, with Thick and Thin podcast. She talked about this, and I was like, this is interesting. So I wrote an article on it, and then I was like, let's do a podcast about it because I feel like I can see it in a lot of different ways, and I'd be really curious to see how other people think about it. So, yeah, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but like the same boiling water softens the potato and hardens the egg. And I think you go vice versa, hardens the egg, softens the potato, whatever that may be. So, like, for me, I'm like an analytical thinker, like I like to break it down. So in both situations, there's one constant. It's the boiling water. The boiling water does two different things to the two different objects. And so on one object, it hardens the egg. On the other object, it softens the potato. And so I was like, okay, that's interesting. So what does the boiling water symbolize? And for me, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, is the boiling water is like when things get tough, the pressure. Like when you start to get stressed out and things start to get heated. Like, do you ever notice like when you get like stressed out or there's something that's bothering you, you like start to get hot and like you need like a fan and some water and stuff like that because you're like stressed out and stuff like that. I feel like that's the boiling water. It's like it's that point where you're just like one more bad thing happens or like one more person talks to you or asks you a question, you're just gonna like flip a switch. Nice Drake reference, huh? But you're gonna like flip a switch and it's gonna be like just torture for anybody that's around you. Trust. That's the thing I'm always working on. It's hard. But I think the two situations. So I'd like to look at, let's isolate both variables. So you got the constant with the boiling water, but let's isolate the potato and the egg. So with the potato, right, you kind of soften up. So like when the pressure is on, you soften up, you like crumble, like you're like in this space where you're like confined, you don't know what to do, like how am I supposed to react to this? That's how I would interpret it. And then with the egg, you harden. So like the way I look at that is like you start to, it makes you stronger, it makes you tougher and stuff like that. So like I'd rather be the egg. I'd rather be the person that when pressure is on, I am there to be tough, to be strong. And as I mentioned in episode 1, is that I have a very intense nature and I know that, and it's something I'm working on because I can't always be this intense. And so it's something trust me, I'm working on it. It's a thing it's a battle. It's a battle. It's going to take time. But the main point is that I'm recognizing it, and that's a big step. But I want to be the egg, not the potato. I want to be strong. I want to be tough. Like I mentioned in episode 1, I'm a tough, intense guy when it comes to business. But sometimes I think could be the potato, and I could just be like, maybe this just isn't right. Maybe this isn't what I need. Maybe I need to calm down, whatever. But I would be the egg. Okay. Side note, sorry, the whole wrecking thing came out. So I went to Australia, hard flex, right? I went to Australia my sophomore year, and like they always use that word wrecking, and I just started using it a lot. Same with cheers. Like I'll say, instead of thank you, sometimes I'll catch myself saying cheers, or I'd be like, I reckon we can do this. And like, it doesn't happen a ton anymore, but in the beginning when I first went, I went there because I was just like, that sounds cool. I like that. And maybe that's kind of messed up that I'm doing that, but I don't know. It's cool. Anyways, be the egg. Be the egg. So like when a situation arises, things get tough. It's like, again, how do you react to it? Are you going to harden or are you going to soften? And that's how I look at it in situations where I feel like I'm stressed out or I don't know what to do or like can I really take this next level? Is I look at it like that, like this is a tough situation for me, but I'm ready to react in a way where I can, process what's happening. And this is me talking idealistically, because I know I'm not always like this. I always like I'm half and half. Sometimes I could take a tough situation, I could be a dog about it, and I could be good. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I just like crumble, and I need a couple seconds to breathe and stuff like that and think it through. And so, but more often than not, I'd rather be the egg. And I'd rather be the person that, takes a situation that may be tough and turn it into something good. Because every day we are faced with decisions, small, big, medium decisions. We're faced with what do we want to have for breakfast? What do we want to have for lunch? Do we want to take a nap today? Do we want to write an article today? Do we want to go into work today? Do we want to work out today? We always are faced with decisions. So, the more decisions we make, the more stressed out we get. I feel like that's how it goes. Is when we're facing a situation where we just have to keep making decisions. Because like even with the smallest decisions, like where do you want to go for dinner tonight, it feels like a big decision because all day you've been making decisions. And it's crazy how that works because it's so true, and I think that's like the underlying principle of why we get so stressed out is because we're making hundreds of decisions every day, every week, every month. You're just making decisions all the time. And I know as I progress in life, I'm gonna have to make more and more. But it really makes me miss when I was a kid, and the only decision I had to make was, am I gonna go play basketball before dinner, or like, am I gonna color? I didn't really color to be honest. Or am I gonna go buy a sports pack, or am I gonna watch this ESPN game and stay up later than my parents told me to? Like those are like the easiest decisions, and they're always like, "Yeah, let's do it." But now that I'm getting older and I'm faced with these real life decisions, or getting there, is I'm realizing that like, don't I have a lot of decisions I have to make within a day, especially running my own business. Is that it's up to me. If I'm not working, if I'm not putting my full foot forward, my business will crumble. I'll have to go back to working a 9 to 5 job, and I am not going back there. I'm not doing it, and I haven't even experienced it that much. But I already know, no matter how great the environment is, or no matter how great the employees are, or how great ownership is, because I've been in companies that I loved it. I loved all those aspects, but the one thing that was missing was I wasn't really working for myself. I was working to get promoted, and that's not what I wanted. Like I wanted to have my own business. And so that's where I think it really lies is like, yeah, I'm doing more work. It's tougher and stuff like that, but it's what I love. I think I love. I don't know. That's what I'm actually figuring out. Um, yeah. So man, that's really passionate. Like what I care about and stuff like that. Hold on, let me take a sip. But again, okay, so I forgot to do this too. Is like I'm telling you what I care about, how I want to make an impact. But like, what about you? Like, how are you going to implement this? So like, basically, I think there's some psychological impact it has when somebody has to make a plethora of decisions. And so when they're faced in a situation where they have to make a lot of decisions, it makes them burn out quicker. So I would start off by doing things that are like simple habit nature, right? So like it's called dynamic meditation. I wish I could tell you I do it every day, but I probably do about 3 or 4 times a week. But basically, I don't know if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, you're gonna be seeing me do this dance. Oh, let me see me do this dance and stuff like that. But like, you put your headphones in, and it's just like beats, like really fast beats, and you just pump it out. Like you literally just do like the most random motions. You bark, you howl, you like just do the intense, crazy things because it just like it gives you releases that energy that's like negative. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why it works so well, but it works for me. Like when I get really stressed out, I need to be by myself. I need to do my dynamic meditation because I know that's what I need in this specific time. And so that would be a really good thing for somebody that gets stressed out or angry or whatever, which is all of us really. Is doing the dynamic meditation or find your own type of meditation or breathing exercises. I read that there's this like 4 minute breathing sequence or something like that that's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't tried it yet, but I would because I do believe in breathing exercises and stuff like that. But you'd be amazed. Like you would be amazed what you can do if you set your mind to it. Okay, sorry. I had a thought in between that one thought. Have you ever had that? Like you think about what you're going to say next while you're saying something? That's what just happened. So, the number one important thing is with this whole analogy of the same boiling water hardens the egg, softens the potato, is there a big factor is your mind. Your mind is the most important thing that you should ever take care of. More than your wife, more than your kids, more than your family or anything like that, because every single aspect of your life relies on your mind. So you need to take care of it. You need to keep it healthy. And that's where the meditating, the breathing exercises, drinking water, eating healthy, working out, um, educational, or that's why I like to, like listen to podcasts a lot or read a lot or like stay up to date on the market is because I'm just refreshing my mind constantly. So I'm staying ahead of the game because I know a lot of people don't do that. And it's something I used to not do, but now I'm realizing that I need it. But refreshing your mind is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. And I urge you all to just think about that. Think about like what do I need to do today to feed my mind positive thoughts and to be a better individual, to take care of my family more, because if you're not great up here and you're not working on what's up here, even if you're not great, you can put on a front for so long, but it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. And I'm somebody that understands that. I'm a big mental health advocate. It's something that, is near and dear to me. But I think that's where the importance lies is really taking care of your mind. And that's how you can take that boiling water and become an egg instead of a potato. So as promised, I will keep these under 20 minutes. This is showing up at 12:30. That's pretty good. 12 minute. I would love to do these longer, but I know the attention span is a little bit lower. So I'm just gonna try to maximize by throwing out as many episodes as I can. Probably every Sunday. I'm doing these on Saturday right now, but I probably will launch them on Sundays. I think that's a little bit easier. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope that is helpful in your everyday life. And I look forward to talking a little bit more about these fun topics. And just a heads up, eventually I will be having guests, maybe once COVID starts to die down a little bit. Could do some Zoom stuff as well. I just kind of, I want to try doing this like solo type thing for the first few episodes, see what it sounds like, if people are liking it. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know about but like, what am I even talking about? I don't even know. But it is important that like I am making some sort of impact. So even if one person was like, wow, like that makes a lot of sense, I'm going to start using that in my own life, that's meaningful to me. So that's what I'm kind of gauging in these first 10 episodes, see where that's at. Am I enjoying it? Do I like this? Is audio my thing? Which I think it is. And that's where laptop entrepreneurs will be going. So you can check me out on Instagram at Collin H Official. My LinkedIn is Collin with 2 L's Hernandez. You can go to cloud-marketing.com. There's a bunch of articles on there. The podcast episodes will be there. If you're on listening to this podcast right now, you might be on Anchor or Spotify or Anchor or Apple Podcasts, wherever it's distributed. But I'm around. DM me, message me. I'd love to talk more. And I'll see you guys next time for episode 4. Peace out.